How do you feel when you don't know what's going to happen next? I'm not talking about when you're watching a movie or reading a book. I'm talking about those times in your own life where despite your best efforts to plan for tomorrow, next week, next month, you know that there are things out of your hands that will have an impact on you and your family. How does this kind of uncertainty make you feel? I can only speak for myself, but I hate uncertainty. I love to be prepared, and so I hate that powerless feeling you get when you don't know what is going to happen next. Well, it feels like the whole nation is in a state of uncertainty right now. And the cause? The dreaded B word, of course, Brexit. The only thing we are certain about right now is that we don't know what is going to happen. And when I say we, I mean everyone. The public are none the wiser, from the disinterested to the well-informed. Our political leaders, including the Prime Minister, literally have no idea what will happen next. And so what kind of impact is the uncertainty having on you? As the clock ticks closer and closer to the deadline of March 29th, things become more muddled every day. And so I find myself asking a question that I'm sure you're also asking yourself. Does anyone have a plan? Our current level of uncertainty, it makes me think about a time when the people of God also faced a similar level of uncertainty. We read in the Hebrew scriptures about a time when they were conquered by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, and his political strategy was to displace the people from their homeland by moving them all to the land of Babylon. Now this is something that must have been extremely traumatic for the people, leaving behind their homes, their land, their temple, their culture, everything that they couldn't pick up and carry. And so when they arrived in this new country, one of the prevailing feelings amongst the people was uncertainty. What was going to happen next? Was this just a temporary blip and they would soon be back in the promised land in no time? Or was this the end for them as a nation and they would be assumed into the multicultural melting pot of peoples that was Babylon? Lots of people within the community were talking as if they knew what was going to happen, and they were trying to spread different theories about the future, but this was just a front. Nobody really knew what would be the next chapter for this nation. There was an overwhelming, undermining feeling of uncertainty. That was until God chose to send a message to the people through the prophet Jeremiah. God said to him, "Tell the people to ignore all of these commentators and so-called experts who are predicting what is going to happen. They have no idea. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to live in this country for 70 years before you return to your homeland. That is non-negotiable. During that time, do what you can to improve the community that you live in. Improve the world around you. Try and make it better, because if it thrives, you thrive. If it flourishes, you flourish." And then God says this, "For surely I know the plans I have for you, plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future with hope." God had a plan. And he wasn't simply speaking about a plan for one person or one family. It was a plan for the entire nation. He wanted the people to understand that he wasn't caught off guard, and that no matter how uncertain they felt about the world around them, he was very certain about what was taking place. Now, in news that will surprise no one, I don't know what's going to happen in this Brexit process. But God knows. And so we don't have to carry the baggage of uncertainty, even though we have no idea what will happen tomorrow. Even if you have trouble trusting politics, policy, or politicians, you can safely trust that when no one else has a plan, God has a plan. And so here are 3 takeaways. Number 1, don't be surprised or concerned when everyone around you, including our leaders, appears to be uncertain. That's nothing new. It's happened before, and it will happen again. Number 2, God has a plan. Sometimes he reveals his hand and sometimes he doesn't, but regardless of what he chooses to reveal, He is overseeing the unfolding of human history. He is truly a very present God. And number 3, aside from his big plans that affect nations and states, he also has big plans for you in your own life. He wants you to prosper and flourish and thrive regardless of what takes place around you. If you want to know more, seek him out and see what he has in store in order to help you live a life less ordinary.